Hey, welcome. Hey, this is the Chris Vaughn Podcast, and I want to thank you for joining us. Jump right in to what I'm calling this the How to Get Your Life Unstuck Now. One of the things about the new year is we always start planning for the future, and everybody gets, I said this earlier today, I think I've gotten 4 gym membership invitations in the last couple weeks. I don't know how many people I know, they start buying highlighters and pens and rulers and stuff. And so I want to try to get you a basic system that you can use to start getting unstuck. If you want to, you can go to getlifeunstuck.com and sign up. That'll be kind of like a community where we give you extra things, such as the videos of the podcast, where I show things that you can't see in the audio. And there'll also be some other things. So I think one of the great life-changing things I've changed in the last year. And it comes from a scripture in the Old Testament from Habakkuk chapter 2, where it says to write the vision and make it plain, reads it, can run with it. And so I actually, after thinking about that verse for time, and that's a favorite verse, especially at the beginning of a year, because you need to have some goals, you need to have some goal setting. So this is the most simple plan to begin to change your life now. This is probably something you may not do in the next 20 minutes, but it's so simple. You could probably do it in an hour. You might could do it in 20 minutes. I don't know. You need to get you a legal pad. I've got a legal pad. I've got this here's my Superman Moleskin that has a very specific issue because it's Superman. This one, this here is just legal pad. Get you a legal pad. I like legal pad for stuff like this. It's bigger, and you can rip and tear out. Stenographer's pad's great. And you need to write down 7 goals for 7 years, 10 goals for 10 years. My opinion is I don't really care that much about the date for you. You need to have, and it may not be that many. For me, I've got 12. In fact, if I go back far enough somewhere in my book, oh yeah, here is my 12 printed in a little card that I can look at if I need to. But those are my 12 life goals, vision goals, long-term goals. And I'm really not concerned with whether it takes 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. Because I know, going back to that verse in Habakkuk, it says that it will come. I mean, I have to do my job, and and again, if you think I'm about to give you some simple plan to where you can do 4 things and bam, you've got everything, you're an idiot. That's all there is to that. And I need to get your credit card information because you're more than likely one of those people who buys everything that comes out. You need to take some time and write out what are your 10 most heartfelt, for me it's 12, so I call it a 12-12-1 plan. What are the 12 greatest things that I want to work on or continue to work on in the next 12 years? And then every day you ask yourself, what is the one thing I can do? Again, back in my 20s, I wrote down 100 things I wanted to do. I'm probably at 70-something of them have already been accomplished. But it's amazing how the clarity of focus, once you begin to write those things, and you need to do that. Just take a time and write them. And then, and just do this, if you will. Email me, chris@chrisvaughn.org, and say, I've got my list. If you want to share them, share them. I don't really think most of these you should share. I don't think you should share any of them sometimes. Now, I don't mind sharing some of mine. I'm trying to be very transparent. Some of them I'm not sharing. Those are mine. They're private. One of them is number 4. I want to weigh 200 pounds. Sometimes we always think the finish line is the most important part. No, it's the process that gets us there. That's the important part. So write down your 10 things. Write down your 12 things. Write down what it is. And then I'm going to just give you right now what I'm going to call again the most simple planner system you can use to stay on track. I'm not going to show these. I don't, these are good people. I'm not putting them down. But so many people are just success junkies. I ought to create my own, quote, mastery journal, success journal, calendar system, whatever I could create, because I could probably sell it. I am not about to do that. There are so many easy systems you can use that are not going to cost you money. I'm going to put everything I'm telling you about in the links of the show notes. You can click it, order it from Amazon. I'll get a commission from it, quarter, 50 cents. But I'm not about to charge you $29.95 for a quarterly planner system, which means you're going to have to order 4 in a year. It's $120. This one here is $40 a year. This one here is, but it's got stickers. This one has stickers. I mean, you need to spend at least $30 for that. This one's $40, but it's got gold leaf. Yeah. This one is again $40, but it's only for 3 months. So they want you to spend $120. This is one, oh, this here's just got a bunch of them. Oh, some of these I'll actually say what they are. This one's a day timer. I always like that. 40, 55, 33. Oh, here's one. I'm not even going to use the name of this. $140 a year. $140 a year. $140 a year. $140 a year. If you get motivated and that helps you, sign up to whatever journal you want. Let me know. I'll create one for you and charge you a lot of money. You don't have to do that. Keep it simple. Like the old phrase, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple. I'm going to show you what I use. This is a, I hate to show this, a little intimidated. It's a Moleskin. I'll tell you why I like Moleskins better than anything. They're very durable for a planner, for a goal book, for a success journal, a mastery journal, whatever term you really want to use. The paper doesn't fade over time. It's non-acidic and it's treated. Got good lines, but again, very durable. I've been using this one here. I mean, I got stuff in here on sales letters, lead pages, platforms. Yeah, I've been using this one. Actually, I've been using a little bit longer than a year. This one I've been using 1.5 years. This one here is my Superman one. I've been using this one, can't remember the date, since March of 17. Use it every week, use it several times a week. I'm writing in it, and this one here's for speaking notes. But this one is just, I've been using it now for, again, I'm watching because it's January and I'm watching all these things and everybody's doing it. I was actually watching an Instagram from a guy and he's showing you how he crosses off his to-dos. Now people, if you're so stuck that you got to watch someone, you need this podcast more than anything ever. You need to grow up. So this is just the most simple, basic system. And you got to start somewhere. Now, if you want to get the big dog, $140 a year book that you got to buy 4 quarters of, so it's $35 a quarter, which doesn't sound like much. It's only $100, almost, count shipping, $150 a year. For this, now this is more expensive. My wife got it on sale, but you get a blank one. You can get 2 of these for $14 at Sam's Club. You can get 1 of them for about $8 off Amazon. If you're an Amazon Prime member, they ship it to you free. You get it in 2 days. You can even buy the Amazon version of this for about $1, $1.50 cheaper. There'll be a link on that. You can do it. This is all you have to start with. If you want to ramp this up to a bullet journal, which is what this is kind of considered now in that term, you can Google search bullet journal. And there are all sorts of people who do all sorts of things and make it pretty. Again, here's the point. You want some place that you can keep centralized all those goals that you hold dear that will inspire you. You want to keep some place centralized where you can write down what you need to do, what you need to get done, and the certain plans that you have in the future. You need to keep that in a central place. Why? Because the things you see and the things you are reminded of will keep you focused. Life is a place of distraction, and you need to make sure you have something that you can keep in front of you that you can watch, and it will keep you focused very much. Here is all I ever do in my it is on the left-hand side, but on the left-hand side, it has a place for the date on the very top of the line. Below, to the right of that, there's a place where it says schedule. I'm only going to fill up half that page. I used to make sure I had 2 pages per day in my day timer. You know what? I am not that busy. I do not want to be that busy. If there is something worse than that, I don't know what I'm doing. On the bottom half of mine, there are 12 lines for each of my goals, and I write those goals every day of my life. I've been doing it now for months. I'm going to keep doing it. But I promise you this, when you get up in the morning, and just to walk through, how do I use it? Every day, every night before I go to bed, I take whatever to-dos or anything which is on the left side. Again, this is, today's the 10th, that where this will be, so I'll show this on the 10th. It's got over here, you can see about right here. Let me make sure I'm looking, yeah. That right there would be where I write my to-dos. This here would be my schedule. Lunch at 2, pick up kids, whatever. Down here's where all my goals would be. Everything that I'm going to write on that page for the 10th that I'm going to carry over. Anything I didn't finish on the 9th, I carry it over to the 10th. Now, in this book, I've actually gone on ahead and filled out most of my days all the way to February. So anyway, so I've got my things. I'm checking things off. Every morning, I open it up. It keeps me focused. I will take the time right then, usually, not always. Sometimes it's later in the day. Sometimes it's at night. I will run through my goals. I will write them out. Again, number 4, I weigh 200 pounds. One of them is on doing certain type of launches and different things. I have a goal. One of the most important one involves my wife, my kids, my grandkids, all the things that are important to my life. I write them down every day. I want to be reminded every single day that is the most important things to me. Other things out there are not important as those. That is the most simple plan to get your life unstuck. Because if you're not doing that, if you will not take the time to do that, if you are foolish enough to think that you have to spend $140 for this planner I'm looking at on my computer, I'm telling you, I've watched that planner. I've seen that planner. That planner is no better than this. And the only difference between that planner and this planner most of the time is if you spend $140 a year, you're probably going to try to take a little bit more attention than $8. But here's the test I want to give you. If you're not willing to get busy with your life and get it unstuck for $8, you're probably going to suck at it at $35 a quarter. You're not going to give any more attention. I can probably get, now somebody said, well, that one, other one, it may be, but I'm probably going to get about 200 pages in this. If I didn't, I'll probably get 3 months off $8, maybe $10. Let's say $10, 8 months. But you need to make that a practice. I promise you, if you're not going to make it a practice to do some of these simple things, your life's going to stay stuck. You're going to be at the odds, you're going to be at the whims of life, at the odds of whatever happens. You are going to have no control. And the worst part about that is it makes you feel completely as just a victim to circumstance. You need to have a system. You need to know. And one of the reasons why I'm probably so adamant about this, I remember years ago, there was a friend of mine, he owned his own business, made a lot of money. We were talking about to-do systems. Me and all my friends, we had day timers. I still have the $120 leather day timer cover I bought. And it's actually, it's a beast. It's still in great condition. And we're talking about day timers, and then everybody started getting, we started getting electronics, so you could buy these little planners. You typed everything in, and it never failed. The thing crashed. There was no way to back anything up. It was horrible. But of course, we wanted one because it was cool. So we did that and stuff, and he just laughs at us, and he goes, this is it. This is all I need. He holds up this legal pad. He goes, that's it. That's all I got. He says, I write down every morning. He goes, I carry over from the day before. Keeps me on track. He says if something's to do later, he said sometimes I'll carry it over 3 or 4 days, but I put the due date. There's always a system. Don't make it harder on yourself. Don't think you have to spend $150 or sign up to a recurring membership or a recurring thing. And they're good systems, and I'm really not trying to be critical of them, but I'm telling you, half the people out there on podcasts and stuff are talking about how great this is, the greatest planner system, not because it's the greatest planner. I actually heard somebody say, who I really respect, they go, I'm telling you, this guy's system is just the best system. I've done Brian Tracy and Zig Ziglar, and I've listened to this guy. It sounds just like Brian Tracy and Zig Ziglar. There's nothing really different, except we've got different terms, and it's a little more up to date with the terminology of 2019. Listen, if you're serious about changing your life, if you're serious about doing something positive, you will push through the bull crap, and you will do what you need to do. And that's what I'm trying to give you. That's the simple plan. Determination, writing it down, and getting focused. And if you want to be really cool, use a fountain pen. It makes you write much slower. It's actually very aggravating, but use it. The reason I like using it is I can't write fast. I have to have a little more diligence. So hey, this is Chris Vaughn. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being with us. There will be links where you can get these things. Again, I'll get a commission off of it if you do check them out. But again, everything here is for the, for the bootstrap business guy. I'm probably one of the greatest hackers at some of the things to do in life because it's just, if you feel like you get took. And I've been there. I have bought the system and the plans because if I can get this system, it'll get me going. Again, I'm begging you, just get working. just get working. You need to invest in it, no question. You need to spend the money. You need to join getlifeunstuck.com. You need to spend the $27 a month that we're going to charge for it. You need to do the investment. Why? It will give value to it and you will appreciate it. But you don't need to be just dumping money. I will say this though, hey, if you spending $260 a year gets you moving, you go for it. That I can get behind. That I can get behind. But you don't have to do that. Hey, again, thanks for being with us. I want to thank you for listening. If you will take a moment, share the podcast. And please, if you would, go to iTunes and leave us a review. It'll help us so much. I appreciate it. Hey, again, this is Chris Vaughn. We'll see you next week.